Hello and welcome back for the last time to Soul Axiom, the last part. This is where shit will get real. By now, if you followed the rest of the parts, you will get to this beam, and well, for you it probably won't have these statues. They only show up here once you beat the last area of the game. One of them shows up after you beat all three parts of the last area. But what is the last area? Well, let's see.
Do you understand what has happened to you? Who or what you really are? Unfortunately, only one soul can be returned to the real world. Beyond here, there is no return. You have a unique choice to make. You will be the judge of who is worthy, who you really want to be. It's time to choose your destiny.
This is the end, and you choose how to end it. You can choose one of the three souls, because if you do recall the last cutscene of the last level, all three of these people died in a fire while being soul transferred into this place. So now you get to choose who actually lives. However, it doesn't really matter who you choose, because you can choose all three of them one after the other, just to see what happens. However, I think only one of them is technically the canonical choice. And I'll tell you right now, it's definitely not Dana Scott. That only leaves two choices, but who could it be? Oh, the tension is rising.
I'm Dana Scott.
But why is it not Dana Scott? Well, for one, she's just collateral damage. She has no reason to be in here. She just got caught in the entire act, like seriously. She just ended up being at the wrong place at the wrong time and got burned while was getting soul transferred at the same time. So it is quite a miracle that you managed to survive. But why are we choosing who to end with? Well, apparently only one of the three guys can be saved and returned to the real world from this place. Neat, isn't it? But, well, it's up to you to decide who will actually return. And of course, every time you make your choice, you will end up here first. However, depending on your choice, you may get more or less stuff to do. With Dana Scott, you will get the least amount of shit to do in this area. In fact, this is the least interesting ending. Which is why I believe this is not the canonical ending, and I will never believe that it is. Not that there is any clear indication that it is, or that any other endings are canonical.
Hello, Miss Scott. I underestimated you. For such a weak person, you've made.
However, as you can see, our good old friend Dr. Davis is here again, and now the secret between the purple priest guy is revealed. It is him!
That bitch has imprisoned me here. She is not worthy. I am the one who deserves ascension. You were meant to die, and you shall not take my place.
We also get the revelation of what the hell this thing is supposed to be, but not quite really. In this ending, you don't get jack and shit. Like I said, the angel thing just shows up, takes Davies away, and you can just jump out the fucking window to get returned back to the real world. I do have to say that this ending may be the most interesting in terms of plot. Because here we can see that Professor Strutz actually gets to the morgue here and figures out what Davies was up to all this time, what the hell he was doing all this time. And as you can see, you're actually in the perspective of Scott, who is apparently dead at the moment, but not for long.
I will continue his work, but in the right way.
Strutz here believes that she can continue the work of Davies, but unfortunately she's not too knowledgeable in Davies's method. At this point in time, it seems that the soul transfer technology is still not quite perfected, so only the 3 characters that you've seen at the ending choice mirror are the ones that are actually transferred. The rest always ended up failing. At this point you would see the credits, but silly cunt, we ain't done yet. Fuck out of here. Of course, after the credits you get one of these cutscenes, and as far as I'm aware, they're all the same for each ending, so it doesn't matter which one you take. It's quite random too. I mean, isn't it weird that you choose to save Dana Scott and actually take her up as, well, yourself? Like you decide to say, oh, I'm this.
It's time to choose.
But then again, it's not. Because you can see her on the left whenever she shows up in that cutscene. Now, what about Nathaniel Solomon? What is this street hoodlum who turned into senator? Well, before becoming well, after becoming, I would say, a military guy. What does he have to say about this?
This country has taken for granted the service of its people for too
I
long.
won't make the same mistake again. What I'm planning will literally save the world.
I watched your speech. You have a lot of talent.
Elysia is the light that will show us the way.
I have a proposition for you.
A politician, a man who campaigns tirelessly for the Eternity Bill, which has heralded a new era of soul research. And dare I say it, our next president, Senator Nathaniel Solomon.
Nathaniel Solomon? I'm Dana Scott. I've been following your campaign. I'm a huge fan.
Yes, well, relax. Just a little pinch.
If you're expecting another shot of Fog Life, I'm sorry, but I was tempted, but I decided to resist the temptation. Now this time around things are not quite the same. As you'll see soon enough, we are greeted not by
Hello,
Dr.
Mr.
Davis,
Solomon.
but rather
I'm glad
Professor
you've made it this
Stratz.
time. In our latest separation attempt, we have accidentally unleashed pure evil.
Oh, god damn
A
it.
manifestation of the corrupt part of your souls.
My Dark
This
Souls?
has been the dominant, cancerous part, which has been preventing extraction. I'm glad to say that now we have successfully isolated the corruption, and we can begin the extraction process.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. That's not the same angel we saw. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's definitely not the same angel we saw before. In fact, you have to beat the shit out of it. That's quite fun, isn't it? Well, sort of. There's just one problem. This one has the most obnoxious voice. So I'm going to do you a favor and just show you how it's supposed to be done one time, because you have to do this multiple times, and then cut to the end of this fight, because god damn it, I can't stand listening to this obnoxious voice.
Sacrifices must be made.
As you can probably tell, the voice of this angel is Dr. Davis, actually. Well, sort of. I think it's just a slightly altered version of Dr. Davis. Definitely sounds familiar.
Sacrifices must be made.
Yes, this takes a while actually. Let's make a slight cut and let's get through to the boss in a much easier manner. I mean, if you want to listen to this guy shout like a crazy maniac, that's entirely up to you, but for me, I prefer to get it out of the way as soon as possible. Once you hit him a few times, you will knock him out. That's the end of it, right? Well, sort of. Oh, failed assassination attempt. That's interesting news. Well, it is kind of the end here, but there was something next to it. Next to the angel. I think we gotta pick that something up. Oh! You better let go of me, bitch! Wouldn't want another beating like that. Ah, but this is where you start to think, do I need to jump off? No. What you need to
Death
do
is
is
the
pull out your
prerequisite to resurrection.
corruption hand and shoot the corruption back at him. Which he is doing at you right now. Took me a little while to realize that I was supposed to corrupt him, so as you can see I got hit. And kinda died. Luckily for
Death
you,
is the prerequisite to resurrection.
you don't have to restart the entire boss fight at this point, which is great. Just shoot some corruption back at him and watch him explode. Now that is an explosion worthy of me and everyone else. Well, you know what I mean.
Welcome back, Solomon. It's been a long time.
Worthy
I
my
know
attention,
this
I
must be
mean.
confusing for you, and it's a lot to take in, but we need you now more than ever. Your physical body died centuries ago, but your soul survived, fused together on extraction with 2 others. Only one could survive.
No
and
shit.
we finally managed to separate you. You are the key, the first soul to transcend its physical body, to become more than human. Much has changed in that time, and the Church of Ouroboros has grown from ashes of the old world, and a new order inspired by your philosophies has flourished.
I know what you're thinking right now. What the
We
fuck
were
is the Church of
guardians the Akashic
Ouroboros?
records, which stood for generations.
Who the fuck knows? It's only mentioned like here and a few other times
This
in the
legacy
game.
is now
But,
under threat,
well,
faces
it's never
annihilation.
really fleshed
And
out
in
or
your
anything,
hour
it's
of
just
rebellion,
there.
You must heed this call to action and guide us once again.
Oh, such hype, but no, they're not quite done yet. And look, once you choose Solomon to end the game with, what is this cutscene all about? Oh, hello there, Dana Scott. I thought you died. Guess you didn't. Ah, I set everyone on fire. Oh look, the Ouroboros. Isn't that fucking great? Like I said, that cutscene shows up every single time.
Time to choose.
Now let's get to the real deal out of the way. I saved the best for last. It's when you choose this cunt head. Dr. Davis. Why did I save him for last? Well, because he's the best part of the game.
Sad, isn't it?
What is?
Well, in terms of what we do at the ending.
Forever.
You had a close call yesterday. You look much better today. We'll have you out of here in no time. Take him through to the lab.
Body snatcher. He and his thugs murdered innocent.
I know where I can acquire more without detection, and now I can continue my research for Persephone. When all is said and done, is it really murder to kill a dying man?
When all is said and done, is it really dumb to be a fucking dumbass? Yes! What a stupid fucking question. But yeah, this I believe is a canonical ending, because as you can see, a lot of things are matching up. I mean, well, let's think about it. The monkeys are definitely a giveaway here, but I don't think that's the main thing. I think the main thing here is that, well, the things that they're going to see right now, well, they kind of give away that this might just be it.
Hello, Dr. Davis. I have always considered myself to be a strong person. Strong enough to see you for who you are, and to always follow my convictions. But a stronger person would be able to live their lives without pursuing revenge, and allow you to die in peace. That is more than you will ever deserve in 1,000 lifetimes. But I've decided I am not a strong person. I will pursue you and exact my beautiful revenge upon you for as long as I deem it necessary. That's right, Davis. You're here because I want you to be. And while you're here, stewing in your vile memories, think of this. I'm closer to achieving your dream than you ever were. A last little question for you, in this moment of clarity. Do you think the soul extraction technique is a pleasant thing to experience?
Does this not make sense? I think it does. Plus, considering the fact that we saw a cutscene where this guy stabs the shit out of her, and now we get to stab her again. Does this really not add up? Is this really not the canonical ending? I think it is. Considering that everything pretty much led up to this point because of Davies, I think this is the canonical ending that they're playing through right now, and I like this part. Oh, who closed the door? Wait a minute. Oh shit! Oh, there you have it. The Angel of Doom is once again here to fight us, and this time it's the correct color too. So, don't die. Well, not that it's really a problem, but once again it's pretty much the same fight as before, so I skipped it. However, this is the part that I think cements it as being the canonical ending. We don't get to escape the grip, instead we fall, and if you remember, this is how we started the game. Not just like that, but also we started here, on the boat. I really do think that this is the true ending of this game. That Davies survived his own experiment going fucking haywire at the cost of the other two guys getting killed. Cause it kinda makes sense. We went through this level before and there was no one else who did this before. In fact, before you get to this panel, you can see a silhouette of Davies holding onto these things. Just like we did before in the beginning. And this whole rivalry with Strats? There's just too many coincidences for this to not be the true ending. The other two characters, Dana Scott and Solomon, they were the main characters too, but they were not significant enough to Strats other than being helpers. She would never want to fight them for any reason, and in fact would probably do her best to save them. Whereas Davies was the complete fucking opposite. He went out of his way to try and perfect his fucking project, no matter what. And so because of that dominant, persistent nature of this, he survived. This time around, however, we do get to do shit on this damn boat. As you can see for yourself, we actually have a turret to use to fight against the Angel of Doom. You're gonna need to use different powers for this one though. Also, you'll need to make sure not to get hit by the random crap that's being thrown at you by the Angel of Doom, because it's not gonna make you reset or anything, but it will delay you, because every time you die, it'll show up here, and you're gonna need to traverse the boxes. Hopefully it's not too difficult, but the Angel can definitely take you off guard with those rocks that she likes to throw, and sometimes the stairs just don't want you to climb. Plus I got a little confused with this turret, because you're supposed to turn it all the way around to actually shoot. It's a bit weird that you can't just choose which way you want to turn it, but whatever. It's a puzzle element. Oh, I clipped through the box. Awesome. I'll take that. Yeah, you definitely want to avoid getting hit by the boulders that the Angel of Doom is throwing at you, because it hurts. Besides, one more thing, could this not be the so-called Project Persephone? I mean, Alicia might as well be based on that project. Because we were both doing the same thing, except Alicia never really got to, well, go off anywhere. It never went off anywhere on its own, because no one managed to pull off the soul transfer properly. except Davis. In fact, the apartment we were in just a few parts ago, that was his apartment. I mean, it kind of the cutscene did kind of imply that that was the case, but in case you didn't know, that was his apartment. Ow. There's just too many coincidences and connections to Davis in everything we go through that I just don't think that any other ending in this game is the true ending. This has to be the true ending. And I guess I'll confirm it best once I figure it out with the developers. I can always just try asking them, I guess. But seriously, this is just too good to be not true, if you know what I mean. It just can't be any other way. Plus, who doesn't want this to be the true ending? This is probably the best boss fight you'll get out of a puzzle game, besides Lost Vikings. This is pretty fucking cool. I really like this boss fight. Oh, look at that, that thing blew up. But where's the kaboom? There wasn't even sound. It doesn't matter, because now we actually managed to get ourselves transferred back to the real world. But what of it? How did we survive? I thought we were burned to death. Well, you'd be surprised. We were. Just not quite enough. Jeez, that looks so
Welcome back,
graphic.
Davis. It's been a long time. 40 years to be precise.
Jesus fucking
You
Christ.
thought you killed me all those years ago, but I survived. I know the atrocities you carried out in the name of your beloved research. You're a monster, Davis, and you still haven't served your sentence. You spent all those years trying to perfect soul extraction, sacrificing hundreds of people in the process.
Fuck.
Ironic that you end up being the first success for Persephone, one of the primary souls to have survived the extraction process, the first to be harnessed. On that day
Jeez,
of
look at her
launch,
face.
when your
She's gotten
second
really
generation
fucking
melted,
old since we last saw her,
you
didn't she?
inadvertently entangled your soul together with two others, Miss Scott and Senator Solomon. I do wish they could have made it out, but unfortunately you've managed to escape again. It's such a pity that you are still the dominant soul. Never mind. Maybe next time you'll make the right choice. Do svidania, George. See you on the other side.
And that's where the game is officially over. Well, say what you want, but I do believe this is the true ending, cause, well, there was a rivalry between these two for the longest time. It wasn't as obvious, yeah, but it was there. In fact, the apartment cutscene showed that in the best detail possible. He didn't like her one bit, and eventually he ended up trying to off the bitch by throwing her off a building. Well, through the window, more precisely, but amazingly that didn't work out, and he, well, during his attempt to burn himself while doing the soul extraction one last time in a grudge-fueled attempt to one-up Strats, well, he survived as well. And amazingly his body survived as well. It's amazing how we managed to save him, although not in one piece. He looked fucked up, and we only saw his hand. We didn't see the rest of his body, and for all we know, it's gotta be pretty fucked up. But that's Soul Axiom, ladies and gentlemen, and what do I have to say about it? It's a good game. I really liked it. Despite a few bullshit things, like level 2's impossible to figure out key codes, it was a pretty good game. I really liked it. And I think if you like puzzle games like this, I think you'll like this game as well. What I think the most is I really hope you enjoyed not only this commentary, but also this more or less detailed walkthrough on how to get through this game, because I'll tell you one thing, it's definitely not an easy task to get through this by yourself. For the first time, the puzzles will definitely be on the tricky side, and you'll be hard pressed to figure all of it out on your own. But now that we have this super guide, which is actually complete for once, even the worst of the players can now achieve victory in this game, which is good. I think everyone should give this game at least one shot and see for themselves what they think of this game. But enough about that. This was Soul Axiom, and it's a great game. That's all that there is to know. With that said, I'm Halder Richards from DaGameTrain. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.